I got LaRonda, the cool sister, in the building. Hey, Rhonda, she in the building. And with that being said, let me get everything cracking. First and foremost, man, these Washington Redskins can't get out of their way, man. The Washington Redskins are back in the news. First, actually, they're not even the Redskins anymore. The Washington, as I used to call them, the Washington racial slurs. The Washington football team has changed their name from the derogatory title Redskins. They haven't decided on what they're going to be. So this week, instead of just laying low like most people who are in a world of trouble, you have your business partners profess to pull out and things of that nature. You losing $2-3 billion or what have you, $200-300 million at the minimum. FedEx was going to pull out. You know, you had a bunch of people saying, we're not going to give you money, Dan Snyder, if you keep this racist name in the building. So instead of laying low like most people would do, like, hey, man, I don't know, smoke, blah, blah, blah. What does Dan Snyder and his crew do? They go get some sexual harassment charge. 15 women in the Washington Redskins office claim that they have been sexually harassed. This is a situation, it's an ongoing situation in all sports. And because it is a good old boy network, what we do is we have a lot of people who take advantage of that. The Good Old Boy Network is a network of predominantly white men who think they rule the world. And because they are white men and they're rich, they can do what they want to do. This is an atmosphere that consistently disrespects women. This is an atmosphere that makes women feel uncomfortable. There was a young lady on television this week that said she was consistently called stupid. Her intelligence was consistently questioned while being hit on. When you're being, I've never been a woman and I've never been hit on at the workplace in that fashion. But I'm quite sure when you are sitting in a situation to where as you're trying to maintain a lifestyle or you're chasing a dream and someone attempts to sexually harass you as well as question your intelligence, there has to be an insanely uncomfortable situation. People from my community, we experience this on a regular basis. It's not a sexual thing. It's just a race thing. And this is a prevailing mindset of powerful white men throughout the United States of America. Am I saying all white men feel this way? I would be a damn fool to even suggest that. But what I will tell you is this is a situation to whereas we are dealing with just a line of thinking that makes people feel uncomfortable. They feel taken advantage of, and they feel less than once these actions takes place. I don't know why this came out right now. Sometimes you almost wonder. We live in this conspiracy theoretical world to whereas anytime something happens, you have to wonder, is this something that's happening because the National Football League is upset with one Daniel Snyder because they knew this was coming down the road? Or is it just Dan Snyder got the worst luck in the history of the world? Either way, Mr. Snyder needs to apologize in a better fashion than he did. Mr. Snyder apologized, and basically he said, I'm sorry. He pretty much said, I'm sorry that y'all found out. He didn't apologize to these 15 women. If 15 women stepped up, it's probably even 50 that felt this way. Again, these are actions taken by people who are in a position of power, who are basically threatening these women with their jobs or any sort of promotion or anything of that nature. This isn't unusual in the sporting world or in corporate America. Every single solitary day, you could probably pull up something in the news whereas somebody from one of these rich, powerful corporations attacked a woman or a person of color. Whether it be a Latino person, whether it be a black person, an Asian person, all different diasporas of Asia, whether it be Indian, Chinese, Japanese, or what have you. This is what's going on in America every day. And when you leave these things unchecked, you continue to have to deal with these things. I blame partially the National Football League because there's no way in hell every player and their uncle, if you say something sideways to a woman, you're on the news for the next 5 days. You are the scum of the earth. and nobody says anything about it. And hey, that's what it is. They should know better. So, seeing how ESPN is treading lightly because they are in bed with the National Football League. These are their friends. These are their partners. They won't do a whole lot of talking. I'm going to do the talking for them. ESPN, Fox Sports, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and any other outlet that carries sports, Yahoo Sports, and all you guys out there who consider themselves major contributors to the news cycle, you guys have failed these women and failed them miserably. Because this is a story that needs to be right out front with the pandemic. Because this is a pandemic. Anytime you disrespecting human beings on any level, whether it be sexual or any other level, the story needs to be out there, and people need to be shamed and embarrassed about their behavior. I'm sick of it because me being a black person in the United States of America, I can identify with the pain that these women are suffering. Am I being sexually harassed? No. But if I, a black man, a large black man, ever spoke up and spoke his opinion, he would be terminated. I've been passed over because I am not part of the gang. I've been looked past because I'm not super social and friendly. And I have, and some of these people, they probably, one or two of them are probably listening right now. And yes, I'm talking to you. If you work with me at Van Roo Credit Corporation and you pass me over for a promotion, yeah, it was clear. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail, but we all know the people who are listening to this, and they call themselves my buddies and friends. So I understand what these young ladies are going through. Not to the extent, but I do understand being disrespected and overlooked for a position. I do understand somebody using their white privilege or their power to exhume power out of a situation. I get it. So, Dan Snyder, you need to get your act together. Dan Snyder, you also, the rest of the National Football League and the commissioner should force you to address these ladies publicly as well as privately instead of their weak, nonsensical, would-be apology that you issue. Now, we have people who are listening to this and going, oh, this is not sports. This is not your business. But you know what? Mark Cuban had to apologize. There have been 7 other people who had to apologize. And looking at the world we live in, you watch Netflix. If you watch that story on Jeffrey Epstein, you'll understand why I feel that way I feel. I have a daughter. I have nieces. I have little cousins. I have friends that are women. And if you're going to continue to disrespect women, at some point, men of the world who are not creeps and lecherous bastards are going to have to step up and defend these women. Otherwise, you are going to have to suffer the consequences. Otherwise, these women are the accusers that these women put forth will never suffer the consequences. Dan Snyder, I'm going to need you to grab the nearest chair and apologize to these women because you're mad disrespectful. Their apology was shitty, and the National Football League needs to pay for his actions. If I was these ladies, I'd sue the hell out of them. Back to sports. Now, man, baseball starts in 2 days. 2 days baseball starts, and hell, man, I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. We have Major League Baseball. It's the first sport of many to start their season. A lot of people, like the number one Chief Rocker Jersey Burn, I ain't going to say no names, though. A lot of people are excited about their teams. Like the number one Chief Rocker Jersey Burn, I ain't going to say no names, though. Been bragging on their teams. You know, the Yankees number one Chief Rocker team. It's going to be a very interesting season. The reason I know it's going to be an interesting season, look at it this way. Last year, after 60 games, the world champion Washington Nationals were under 500, which means there was no way in hell that they were going to make the playoffs. No way in hell that they were going to make the playoffs. But at this point, they are perceived as being a favorite. And 60 games, anything can happen. This is the beauty. A lot of you guys who've been tricked by mainstream media talking about, there's too many games, this, blah, 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 blah. Stop using the verbiage that your programmers use. Why don't you just do what you're supposed to do and watch and enjoy? Because if it wasn't too many games 100 years ago, why is there too many games now? Because you got something else to do? No, you really don't. You really don't. A bunch of you guys are old as hell, and y'all don't need to be watching the damn reality show. You need to be watching sports again. Otherwise, you need to sit down and pee when you go to bed. That's all. It's chauvinistic. It's kind of archaic the way I think. But hey, stop watching all that nonsense. I ain't trying to hit none of that. All right. But serious. On the serious side, this Major League Baseball season is going to be extremely interesting because this will be the first time it's ever been a sprint. It has never been a sprint. When you're dealing with Major League Baseball, it's always been a marathon. But 60 games is a sprint. It is a 100-yard dash. And we are going to keep an eye on most of these teams because you have to understand, after 60 games, a lot of these teams will be on fire. And will the fire fizzle out? And then by being in the playoffs, will you amp up and rise to the occasion? A lot of these people have never had the opportunity to rise to the occasion. So we won't understand if they can take the pressure. I'm going to try to catch baseball at some point. That's my man, Big Mo. Thank you, brother. Thank you for participating in the show. And as long as the Yankees don't win, the number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern, I'm going to say your whole name. As long as he don't win, I'm happy. But he don't understand the real Sox in Chicago, they're going to do the damn thing. They coming for them Yankees. They taking them down. I know Jungle Brother being to get down later. And then I'm going to smack him around too. But on the serious side, the favorites to win the World Series are the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The thing is, it's going to be hard as hell to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League this season. First and foremost, they have up until the end of the season when they lost, they had the best team in baseball. Losing a series does not mean you don't have the best team. That means you lost the series. It's a 7-game series anybody can win 4, right? And it's not like they lost to the Mariners or to the Marlins. They lost to a real deal team. So when you add bets from Boston to an already powerful team, that team is going to be almost unstoppable. And especially if the number one Chief Rocker with Jersey Vern Yankees get there, hopefully they'll lose. Even though I know Joe from Houston is a Yankee fan too, so what? I'm picking on Vern today. How about that? But on the serious side, the National League Central is also a division that's going to be mad difficult to navigate through because you have the Milwaukee Brewers, you have the Pittsburgh Pirates, you have the St. Louis Cardinals, and you have the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have dismantled a lot of that talent, but I think they did something which might be the stupidest move in the history of baseball, firing Joe Madison. It seems that stupid moves in Chicago go hand in hand. But it's just insane. My man Big Mo said I hadn't watched baseball since Harold Reynolds was on ESPN. Damn, that's a long time. Woo! Mo, catch up. Turn your cable on. Turn to 1602 or whatever your ESPN is, man. Watch you some baseball. It hasn't changed. It's still fun. But back to the point, this is a tough division, and it seems like in Chicago, what they do is wait 100 years to win a damn World Series and then fire the manager that gets you there. I understand Ozzie Smith has some inflammatory statements that forced them to get him out of there, which is another reason they need to be kicking Dan Snyder in the ass. That's another reason they need to be kicking Dan Snyder in the ass, because when you kick Dan Snyder in the ass for that, if you're going to fire Ozzie again for what he did, you need to fire Dan Snyder. You need to get rid of Dan Snyder as well. Period. But that's another situation with another conversation. We're looking at a situation to whereas these people in Chicago continue to pimp the fans. Like I've been telling y'all for years. I've been on the air for 4.5 years now, right? I've been telling y'all, these ownership groups and these teams, they're not trying to win. They are trying to get your money. And that's why I like places like Los Angeles and New York. I tease Vern about the Yankees, but that's why I like places like New York and Los Angeles. Because if you don't put a quality product out there, they are going to get rid of your ass. And that's just the name of that tune. That's the way it's going down. Finally, the employee of the week is back in the building. What's good? Talk to me, Big Illinois. You back?
Hey, what's going on, people? What's going on, man?
Yeah, he came through a temp agency, y'all. He got fired for stealing on his day off from the end of the bench. Welcome back, Big Illinois. He's in the building. What's good, brother?
Hey, man, fuck your couch, man.